second race of the round of 8 playoffs. Urban in the 11 coming off a big win at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's already in the championship four, so he does not have to worry about this race or the next, which is Martinsville. But even he is still eligible to win today, and I apologize if you hear that noise in the background. It's a fan because it's hot in here. Well, without further ado, we're going to go 67 laps, 200 miles, and here we go.
Almost ready.
And we're going to pause for just a minute and turn this down. Alright, the Truck Series, second race of the round of 8 is green from Homestead-Miami. So 14 laps here in stage 1. Johnny Sauter starting side by side. And actually, real quick, why don't we pull up the playoff standings so we can see who's all in it still and who is not. So Johnny Sauter is still in it. So he's going to try to chase down the 11 and win tonight to lock himself into the championship race at Phoenix. But even stage points can help him get closer to that. But keep in mind, this is the second race of the round of 8. Now, normally after the second race of the round of 10, a driver can clinch a spot into the round of 8 on points. But here in the round of 8, after the second race, a driver can't do that because it determines who goes to the Phoenix. So you pretty much have to win, or whoever made it on points is determined at Martinsville when the checkered flag flies next week. Now, meanwhile, Jordan Anderson, how about that, jumping up to second there. Grant Infinger in third. Or Stuart Friesen in third, who is a playoff contender still. Now Grant Infinger in fourth. And how about Riley Herbst down to 5th, performing double duty today. He'll race in the Xfinity Series race later tonight before an all-new episode of GTA 5 Live TV, except the Xfinity race will be broadcast over on Twitch Sports Network 1. And then on here before GTA 5 Live TV on YouTube TV Network, we'll have an NFL football game live from Las Vegas, in the Pro Bowl version of Las Vegas. And how about this? 3 laps complete, and your pole winner still out front with 11 to go in stage 1. Now, like we said, only 67 laps here in this race to determine who joins the 11 in Phoenix for the championship race. Or will the 11 go back-to-back and win this race and be a point spoiler? Or will a non-playoff contender win? Meanwhile, look at that. Brand new sponsor. Potential for next season. So they're testing it out tonight here at Homestead-Miami and seeing how it would be to ride on the 11, and so far they're pretty impressed with how the paint scheme turned out, that they're considering coming on board for full-time next season, but they're still in the talks of it. Meanwhile, how about this? The 11's got out to a great gap off of Jordan Anderson, and he can already see the truck that's in last place. And we got 9 laps to go now. Just like that. And Jason White going to be the first truck to go a lap down here in this race. Now Clay Greenfield. Oh, John Hunter Nemechek going to go a lap down also. Didn't really have a season of his life, along with Spencer Boyd. Now we got Joe Cobb, Rutsch, and Hill. Rutsch actually started her season good, and then just fell from there. And then meanwhile, some contact with Tate Fogelman between the 11 and the 02. And Jesse Little gonna go a lap down. So we return from the heat in the desert to go racing in the heat in Miami. And we're going to go up to Virginia next week and race in the heat of Martinsville, Virginia. And then back to the heat of the desert for the season finale. That's coming up 2 Fridays from now. This race was originally scheduled for today. That's why it's being ran today. And meanwhile, already in the top 20 lapping trucks is the 11. Tyler Reddick going to be the next victim. And that team thinking about selling their charter after this season. Meanwhile, Urbane, who drives the 11, thinking about picking it up. As Ben Rhodes and Austin Waits help 2 playoff contenders go lap down. But he's thinking about picking it up for his international team to give international drivers a shot at all 3 series in the league. But then again, anybody might be able to drive it. It really depends. Well, from the looks of it, looks like the 11's going to dominate stage 1. Win stage 1, and then he's going to have to go out in stage 2, or we're going to go in stage 2 and see if he can then dominate again. As we got 5 to go already in stage 1.
You're all clear up top.
Moffitt goes a lap down. A little contact with the wall for the 11 there. Here's Matt Crafton, no lap down. He is a playoff contender still. But he is below the cut line. So if this was the elimination race and it was going to end in a couple laps without a caution, then he would be out. He's actually the first truck out. Ben Rhodes is the second truck out. Austin Wayne Self the third. And Matt DiBenedetto is the 4th and final truck out of the playoffs currently. Now they can always win either here or at Martinsville and lock their way into the championship 4 or get up there in points. So we'll have to see how it goes for them. Zane Smith currently on the bubble. So if Matt Crafton can get around Zane Smith or finish higher than Zane Smith,
Still there.
then
All clear.
Matt Crafton will be back in the championship contention. Speaking of the devil, there's Matt DiBenedetto
Still there.
in the 21. Zane Smith drives a
Clear high. Clear high. All
truck
clear.
for Front Row Motorsports, which I believe is the 38. And Spencer Boyd not gonna be able to catch a break here.
Clear high.
Go
Clear
2
high.
laps down.
All right. Some more good laps from you.
Coming up about an hour after this is complete, we got Xfinity Series racing. Second race of the round of 8 for them too, here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But of course, like we mentioned, not on this channel. That is over on Twitch Sports Network 1. We only do the first half of the season for the Xfinity Series. And there's the 38 of Zane Smith, so he's going to go a lap down. Remember, he's on the bubble. And there's Stuart Friesen.
All right. Clear low.
Stuart Friesen currently sits second in points.
Last lap. Hit your mark.
Final lap of stage 1, Infinger.
All clear. All clear.
Non-playoff contender, he didn't make it at all. And like we said, the 11 is going to dominate the stage, lead every lap. And just got to make it around 2 more turns to take the green and white checkered. Comes off turn 4 for the final time of stage 1. And the 11 takes stage 1 here at Homestead-Miami.
Great job.
So he wins last week at Vegas to punch his ticket to the championship 4. And now he wins stage 1 here. So Urbane, Anderson, Herbst, Hill, and Infinger make up the top 5. Now keep in mind, only one championship contender is in the top 5 and playoff contenders in the top 5, and that is the 11 of the who just won stage 1. So about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the Xfinity Series race is over on Twitch Sports Network 1. And then after that race, come back to this channel for an NFL football game down in, or down over out west in the desert in Las Vegas.
All clear.
And then after that game, all new episode of GTA 5 On Patrol Live. Season 1, Episode 3. Loving that show so far. It just started this past Wednesday night with the inaugural episode, and it has not disappointed yet. Meanwhile, the 11 clears, gets back to the lead, and definitely going to lead stage, or lap 1 here in stage 2, and he just might do it again. He might dominate. He is the defending winner here at Homestead-Miami, back when this was a regular season race, but now this is a playoff race. Technically, he does not need to win here, because he already won last week at Vegas. But, like we said, he is not eliminated from the ability to win. Jordan Anderson, not fast enough. The 11 gets on the throttle, and he is quick around this track. I won't be surprised if he ends up dominating and winning the entire race. I mean, just look at him. We already got 10 laps to go in stage 2, because there's only 12 laps here in stage 2. And now Riley Herbst gets up to second. Again, Riley Herbst doing double duty. He'll race in the Xfinity Series race at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is subject to change, because we could have overtime. You just never know. Well, the 11 doing pretty good so far out here. And actually, some members from Kelly Blue Book were impressed with that stage run. They're still talking about it. Maybe if he wins a race with them on board, maybe they'll consider signing with him, as he is switching from Toyota to Chevy during the off-season. Keeping the same number, but just switching manufacturers. And we are down to 8 laps to go here in stage 2. Yeah, and then the Xfinity Series race later today will be 100 laps, 300 miles. And the Twitch Sports Network broadcast crew ready to get in here at the end of our coverage. And our guys on our YouTube TV network broadcast crew ready to get it kicked off down there in Las Vegas. And that will be on our channel after the Xfinity Series race.
All clear. Bottom 3.
Continuing with week 3 of the Summer League, we had some technical difficulties, so the season has been delayed. So it means it will run later into the year. Or, yeah, later into the fall, probably.
Clear all around.
6 laps to go here in stage 2.
All right, you're clear.
And the 11 already dominating. He's led 6 of 12 laps.
All clear. Top 3, use it if you need it. All right, clear low. 5 to go, you got it.
5 to go here in stage 2.
You got room.
If you're just now tuning in, you missed the entire stage 1 and about half of stage 2. But it is Camping World Truck Series playoff racing from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Boyd EcoBoost 200. Second race of the round of 8. And the 11's already punched his ticket to Phoenix. There's still 7 other drivers trying to do that. 3 of them are just fighting to stay above the cut line. Because next week is the big cutoff race at Martinsville Speedway.
You're all clear up top. Outside, outside. All clear. clear.
Back to the line to complete lap 9 of 12.
Won that stage. Way to go,
Oh,
driver.
and it actually will be one under caution, because as he crossed the start-finish line, the caution come out. So we will have 38 laps to go.
All right, be smart out here. Going green. Almost ready.
Green flag.
You got room. You're clear.
Through stages 1 and 2 have come to an end. And now the final stage underway. And how about that? The 11 jumps out to the lead as we do have one truck out of the race. And that is most likely the reason why the caution came out with only a few laps to go in stage 2, which ended the stage under caution. The 11 has swept the stages. Now he pulls out in front of Riley Herbst, who's starting to get a gap with 37 to go. And they have just checked fuel on all the trucks, and everybody can make it to the end of the race. So the focus now is just to get all the way to the checkered flag, which will occur in 36 laps. Why don't we do a little cranky? What? Okay. And give us just a sec, folks. Gotta eat some dinner, and then we'll finish this one up. 35 to go. I'm just live streaming on my YouTube channel. Alright guys, 35 laps to go and the 11 just went into the wall. And he has decided he will come down pit road and get everything fixed. He does have a fresh set of tires, so he throws that on too, throws some more fuel on it.
Alright, you're coming.
He'll restart 5th.
Almost ready.
We are back to green here at Homestead-Miami. Got his damage fixed. And restarting 5th is not that bad because he is still in contention unless the leaders start to pull away. And look at the run he's got. Making contact with the 51 of Herbst. And he has pulled back out in front to the lead. More contact. Herbst is going to go around and crash hard into the wall. And that will bring out a caution. Riley Herbst hard into the outside wall after that battle with the 11 there. And that was crazy. They were beating and banging doors, and now Austin Hill has taken the lead here. But look at this, the 11 still hot on his tail. And the 11's gonna take the lead again in turn 1. Herbst is still in the race, but has most likely heavy damage from that impact because he did not pit. And we'll see how much that affects Riley Herbst as he is now outside the top 5. As we're going to enter 28 laps to go. The 11 back to the lead. And it just goes to show playoff contender versus non-playoff contender. The playoff contender, regardless of the win, wants points. And he's willing to get them. Meanwhile, he got to stay on the track on the back straightaway, but technically it is not illegal to go down there. But what we were saying is the 11 wants those points, and he's going to do anything to get them, but not intentionally wrecking Riley Herbst. They were just beating and banging doors, racing hard for the lead, and then all of a sudden Herbst goes around and into the outside wall he goes. That was just our 3rd caution of the night, or of the day, excuse us. Jordan Anderson back up to 2nd. Anderson might get his best finish of the year here if he keeps it up. Back around, we got 26 laps to go. Herbst is back up to 4th, but I don't know how well he's going to be able to do with that damage on his truck. That was a heavy hit with the wall. Probably should be out of the race, but still in it. Must not have that much major damage. 25 to go, too. Check can't catch a break, and neither can Spencer Boyd, but they're non-playoff contenders, so it's not really going to affect them much.
All clear.
Clay Greenfield started the season strong, and ended up missing the playoffs. And same with the 00. Started the season off good. Ended up missing the playoffs. A little contact there, but
You got room.
saves it, and we stay green.
Stay on the bottom. All clear.
22 laps to go.
Clear all around.
Haven't said Decker's name or Ingram's name very much, but both of them go another lap down, along with Tyler Reddick here.
Clear all around.
Just got word that Ryan Priest will be driving the number 2 truck at Martinsville. Oh, the 11 slams the wall. But Ryan Priest will be driving the number 2 truck at both Martinsville and Phoenix.
Stay low. Stay low. All clear.
Austin Waynesell got to get a higher finish. Because going into that cutoff race, you don't want to be below the cut line, because once you go into a cutoff race below the cut line, you have to finish good, at least in this league, in order to get back above that cut line. Same with Ben
All
Rhodes,
right, you're clear.
already below the cut line. As Crafton's trying to get above the cut line, but not going to be able to do it
Careful, still there. All
if
right,
he doesn't get a good finish. As you see, he does have damage, so something tells us he was involved in an incident earlier in the race, and that most likely could be why he is not running very good here at Homestead. But still got some work to do with 19 to go. Not very many laps to make something happen.
Stay high. Stay high. All right, you're clear.
Oh, the 23 sends the 11 into the outside wall. That will bring out a caution. And the 11 has elected to get his damage fixed, so he will restart 7th, the last on the lead lap. As we go back to green, there's the 32 Augustine on his outside. He was just eliminated from the playoffs last round, as we go back to green flag racing with 16 laps to go. So here's where it happens. Oh, look at Austin Hill pulling out, but look at this run the 11th got. He's already up to 2nd, and he's already chasing down Austin Hill. Austin Hill thinks he has this race won off of turns 1 and 2, but look at, here comes the 11 down the back straightaway and to the lead.
All clear.
That is what a clean truck with no damage does for you. And that is why the 11 opted to go in, fix his damage, and get back out there on the track. Now with 15 laps to go, he's back in the lead and already pulling away with it. So can he lead the final 15 laps? The funny thing is, when we cross the start-finish line again, we'll be just repeating stage 1. And then once we get to 12 to go, we're just repeating stage 2 to the finish. The 11 been dominant and fast out here all night, despite having to go down pit road a couple times, and that being our 4th caution. But, I mean, look at this. He gets the runs, gets back up to where he was before the incident happened. Now with 14 laps to go, he has a 4.6 second lead off of Austin Hill. And come back around now. 13 laps to go. Yeah, this race definitely flies by quick. Only 67 laps for the Truck Series. And whoa, that was close. And this is Urban's last season in a Toyota, because we mentioned he's going to switch to Chevy next season. In fact, the Chevy trucks have already arrived in their shop in Michigan, and during the off season they'll strip these manufactured Toyotas down and they'll send them to other teams to use as backup trucks or main trucks, or even to new teams that may join the Camping World Truck Series. And it has mentioned in real life that after this season, Camping World is done, so we will figure out what the Truck Series will be called next season in real life, and then that is what we will switch the name to on here too. But when the name switches, all the races that were done to this point will still be called the Camping World Truck Series. We will just switch over, even if it's in the middle of the season, to the new sponsor.
Alright, clear outside.
We're going to see 10 to go. This time by an almost contact with Clay Greenfield there. It stays clean.
Bottom clear. All clear.
10 laps to go. We restarted with 16 laps to go. That was 6 laps ago. The 11 got a run to second, then he was able to run down Austin Hill in turn 2, take the lead on the back straightaway, and has led the last 6 laps. Coming back around to lead 7.
All clear.
If Riley Herbst wants to, he's up to second after crashing and bringing out the 3rd caution. If he wants to win, he's better hope for a caution to be in contention. Because if this thing goes green for the rest of the race, the 11 is guaranteed the mid lead. The 11's been pretty dominant in races recently, though. He's been pretty good in the long run, and he's out there winning races, and he can win like 20 races a year. It's crazy. I wonder, though, next season in his 3rd year in the series, if he'll slow down a little bit on the wins. Well, you know him. If you ain't first, you're last. The only way he said he's not going to win a race is if he gets wrecked by a teammate or gets dumped by another driver. As meanwhile, he gets into the back of Ben Rhodes, but helps Ben Rhodes keep it straight. Almost going all the way up into the wall. Ben Rhodes will pass. But again, going to go another lap down. Whoa, contact between the two. Last time there was contact between the 11 and a driver, that driver ended up spinning out and going hard into the outside wall. And just 7 laps to go at the line. It is 6:34 Eastern Standard Time, and we will end our coverage here after we do a brief post-race show. And then our channel won't be on the air again until the NFL game, which will follow the Xfinity Series race. But the Xfinity Series race will be over on the Twitch channel, so be sure to tune into that if you want to watch Xfinity. 6 laps to go at the line.
High lane clear.
We restarted the race with 9 laps ago. The 11's been out in front all 9 laps. Next time by will be 10.
All the way to the wall.
That's like we said, if this thing goes green, the 11's going to definitely win this race. But if the caution comes out, then Jordan Anderson, Riley Herbst, or other drivers can try to jump in and win it, even though they're non-playoff contenders. They can still win races. 5 to go. The flagger waved 5 fingers up and down in the air, telling the leader that he has 5 laps to go.
All clear.
Stuart Friesen running 7th, most likely going to either remain 2nd in points or go down. That depends on how many non-playoff contenders there are. in the top 10.
Still there. All clear.
4 laps to go. The 11 just wants to make it all the way around and see the white flag. There's Zane Smith.
Still there. All right, you're clear.
But he just wants to see the white flag, if that means next flag ends it. Meanwhile, the 11 catching up to Jordan Anderson. Could he potentially lap everybody in this race?
Clear all around.
3 laps to go. Jordan Anderson knows he is out front of the 11. Still has a couple seconds off of the 11. So his goal is going to be just keep the 11 behind him. But look at this. Riley Herbst. The 11 comes up behind him on the high side. Not catching up to him yet. Now he's caught up to him on the low side. Riley.
Still there.
And we have 2 going. Riley Herbst, not that much damage on that truck, but despite running into the wall hard. But look at this. Closer to Jordan Anderson now with 2 laps to go. And unless if a caution comes out,
You're all clear.
the 11 might catch him. And it looks like it's going to be on the final lap that he catches him. Oh, he might catch him here too, around the front straightaway. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the final lap. Coming off turn 4 for the 11. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Last lap. Stand by.
So he won last week, punched his ticket into the championship race at Phoenix. Now he laps Jordan Anderson on the final lap of the race. Stays low to keep Anderson behind him and heads down the back straightaway for the final time. He turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Like we said, he won at Vegas to punch his ticket to Phoenix. Contact with Tanner Gray there, but off turn 4, he's going to do it again this week, this time at Homestead-Miami, as the 11 will win. He led the final 16 laps. That was the last restart of the race. And I'm sure Kelly Blue Book's going to stay around and hang out for next season. Parks it on the start-finish line. Not very much room to do a burnout here. And he knows that. That's why he parks on the start-finish line. And let's find out who is where. Fastest lap, 34.938 by the leader. The leader led 63 of 67 laps. Ben Rhodes started 31st, finished 16th. And Johnny Sauter started 2nd and finished 13th. As we take a look at the finishing results, and we will find out who the DNF was. As it looks like Zane Smith has moved to 2nd in points. And that will bump Stuart Friesen to 3rd in points. And Matt DiBenedetto is on the bubble heading into Martinsville. Meaning he has to make sure he finishes good at Martinsville if he wants to make it into the championship 4. As Johnny Sauter falls below the cut line 5th in points with a 13th place finish. And Ben Rhodes will drop to 7th in points as Matt Crafton has fell to 6th. And that means Austin Wayneself falls to last in points Well, next Friday, the big elimination race from Martinsville Speedway. Who's going to the championship for? We already know one of them, and that's the 11. 2 wins over the first 2 races of the round of 8. As we say so long for now, guys. We hope you enjoyed this. Oh, we gotta tell you the DNF. And that was Jason White. So he's the one that crashed at the end, and in stage 2 with a couple laps to go, and a couple laps to go. That's an interesting word I was about to say. But with a couple laps to go, he crashes, and that brings out the caution. That's why the 11 won stage 2. And we got a couple comments here I see, so we're gonna look at those, see who commented. And I just did what he wanted too. My boy wanted a W, and that is what happened. But anyway, so long, guys, from Homestead-Miami. Tune in into the Xfinity Series race on Twitch Sports Network 1. Coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.